Hi there, my name is Kevin Givens. I'm the TIGI Cosmetics Director, and we're here to talk today about the perfect brow. For the next couple of seasons, you're going to see a very strong presence in terms of brows. So what I'm going to be working with today on my lovely model with the Brow Sculpting Duo from TIGI. It's actually a powder and a wax, and here we go. Just a quick grooming tip. One of the important things about having a great eyebrow is making sure that this front area here is trimmed. So what we did prior to this technique that we're showing you is we brought up the hair at a slight angle and then trimmed that off so that we had that real clean look, and also makes the eyes look bigger and more awake. With the Duo, obviously you have the powder here and the wax. It's important to make sure that you're using a very small amount. So I've got my TIGI angle brush with a very small surface area, as you can see. We're going to take a little bit of this powder, making sure that we get it evenly onto the brush and then knocking it very simply. And what that does is it makes the powder set into the brush very evenly. Looking at the eyebrow, the most important thing about filling in the eyebrow is that we want the color on the inside of the brow versus on the top. So to achieve that look, I'm taking my brush and I'm going to start with the application of the powder in the area that I want the most deposit. So I'm going to start here and we're going to go against the eyebrow, and as you can see, that's already taking the color on the inside of the brow. Very easy. And I'm just following the natural brow line. So I started here when I have the most amount of product on my brush, starting in the highest point of the arch, working my way through to the inner corner of the eye. Now that I have less powder on my brush, I'm going to come back and we're going to finish the end. You always want this end to be slightly softer, because if it's not, it's a telltale sign that you have your eyebrows filled in, and they can also look slightly harsh. Now that I've got the color placed in the inside the way I want, I can come back with the brush and kind of fill it in and lay down those hairs. Now this is, like I said, untraditional, but in the same sense, it can end up looking very natural. In much the same way that perhaps your mother or somebody you know, or maybe perhaps you actually use hairspray to keep your brows in place, using a wax will do the same thing in a sense, is that it will keep the hairs in place and give it a little more dimension, but of course they won't get extra crunchy doing it. So again, as you can see, that's just defining that brow a little bit more. You want to make sure that you have a very soft level of wax on here, because you definitely can go too far. When creating a stronger brow, it's important to still think small. In essence of, you don't want to create a brow that is so heavy it looks very drama-ish. So what we've done is we've taken our powder, and what I've done is I've wet it with our TIGI Liquid Enhancer, just to give it a little bit more strength and a little bit more definition. The most important things that I'm looking for is height and evenness in the whole look. So essentially, if you look through here, she's got a very strong, even brow, and I don't really need to make that any bigger. Where she does need help is she needs this a little bit more defined in this outer perimeter here, and we're going to utilize this powder, bring it all the way down so that we are making the brow longer as well. Also, you want to make sure that the line from here to here is very even. So while there's less product on the brush, I'm just going to come through and make sure that we have that even finish. And in the end, remember that whether you're going for a more dramatic look or a softer look, most women's faces are not completely symmetrical. So concentrating on creating the eyebrows that we would call sisters rather than twins is going to go along with the natural look of a woman.